13 for us. Andrew is still away in Thailand, so I'm going to take over the meeting and provide you some content creation training. In the previous BYOB call, Andrew already, mentioned about the content and how it can help the BYOB participants in their sales funnel. So I want to specifically provide some, material for you or processes for you so that you can follow to help the clients to do that. Yeah. Before I jump into the training, do you have any feedback or any question for me regarding to your working process with the client or even on the BYOB materials? No? Cassie? Yep.
I don't know if this is considered more of like a direct question for you, but Roz was hoping to meet up with you just in regards to like finalizing her website templates, because Andrew told her that you would probably be the best like guidance for her. So I can send you a DM later if you like, if it's easier.
Yeah, sure. Just send me the
Okay.
DM, probably a bit of context behind it as well.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Would she send me the meeting schedule, or you guys gonna schedule it?
I was just going to confirm with you when you're available to do it, and then I'll schedule it for both of you. Yeah.
Sounds good. Perfect.
Thank you.
I'll send you the link to book for me as well. I have the link.
Awesome. Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
All good. Is there any other question?
Not for me, just that one.
Oh, good. And also congratulations to Liz as well, to take on the lead for being the main intern for the new client. She's a new BYOB growth participant. So congratulations. I'm actually looking for a buddy for her who is based in Brisbane though, because the client might require some, on location filming, just like quick short video filming when she do some, event or workshops in Brisbane. So if you guys can just DM me if you're available to be a buddy, then would be much appreciated. It would be a good chance for you to learn and work closely with another client who is in, financial service. That would be great. If you already a main intern, you can still be the buddy for another account. So don't be hesitant of that. Alrighty, let me share my screen and then I'll go through this week training. And then in the meantime, when I mention at any point, you guys have any question or anything, just feel free to unmute or raise your hand so that you can ask question and I can clarify it for you, yeah? Present. Is my screen coming through okay for you guys? Yep. Okay, let's do this. So in today's training, it will be focusing on the content creation process. And the topics that we're going to cover is how the content fits into the sales funnel and our EMS content creation process. And after this training, I would love if if it can help you to understand how to create meaningful trust building content for your clients who are the founders of businesses from different industry, but warm up their network and build momentum before doing any spending money on any ad or outreach. So as Andrew mentioned in this week call, he already gone through the funnel already. So normally most of the startup they want to go straight into outreach or lead generation, which is in a cold phase, but that's risky if no trust exists yet in their brand. And in terms of the funnel, we usually have 4 main stages. The first one is cold phase, or you can say it's the awareness phase. Next one is warm phase, which would be engagement phase, and then hot phase, which is where we have conversation with the people who already build trust with the clients before buying any service or paying for any service or products. So that is a sales if they're already paying, yeah. And these stages work closely together. um, and then we, by knowing, what metrics we want to analyze for each stage, we can diagnose which stage is working well, which stage is not working well, and so we can diagnose and fix it in the specific stage. So my question for you is, which stage in the funnel should we focus on first for startup businesses or for your clients, in your opinion? And based on the module that Andrew teach in the on Wednesday, or on Thursday last week. What do you think? So is it like, should we focus on the cold phase first, or should we focus on the warm phase, or should we focus on the hot phase? Cold phase is when you do advertising or you do LinkedIn outreach. Warm phase is when you do content, our EMS. Hot phase is mostly, this one is for the founder to talk to the prospect. So which stage do you think we should start first? Cold. Okay, Adnan, cold. Why do you think so? Jerry, one phase. Why one phase, Jerry?
So I just think that when you already had your like content, like of like quite a good amount of content already, and then when you start doing like advertising for like the mass outreach, so that when people like visit your site or your social media, they could already know more about you rather than like coming to a kind of blank
Yeah,
page.
yeah, spot on. So I think is exactly right. I think we should start with the warm phase first. And the reason for it is, as I mentioned before, a lot of people who usually want to, they want to straight away outreach to new people, new audiences, or doing a lot of advertising. But that is really risky without any trust is it in the brand yet, right? And then when you think about it, when you do outreach or when you do ads, what is the ads key messaging that you're gonna send out if you don't have any foundational content in your page yet? And if you think about the customer journey, if you send out ads to people and then they don't just buy the product straight away from the ad, they might need to research about your brand, they might go into your social media to have a look. And if you don't have any foundational content in your page yet, then you might lose the touch point with the customers. So based on our EMS system, we have tested with a lot of clients and it worked really well. That is, for the startup, we usually start with the warm phase. And the reason for it is based on the marketing theory that we learn, we always should establish the awareness yet first, right? I think that might be the reason why you think we should start with the cold phase. However, when you think about building awareness, you need to think about the next question, which is, who are we going to build that awareness to? Is it the new people, or is it the existing people that already have some, kind of connection with you? And I think my answer would be building the awareness and the credibility among the people who already know you, who already follow you, who already trust you. And those people are usually already in your network, right? In your, LinkedIn connections. Um, and those people already in your network on LinkedIn, they are warm audiences because they already connected to you. They might have seen your bio, they might have seen your face, they might have seen your banner, or might have seen your post or even engage with it. So they are warm audience and they will convert better and they will amplify future outreach. And I mean, after we already, established the, after we start with in the warm phase and have the foundational content already, and if we want to grow our audience or grow our reach, we can do LinkedIn outreach. We can do ads by boosting the content, but always start with the warm phase first by having foundational content. Yeah, does it make sense to you guys? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So in the BYOB module, we already learned that content sits in the warm phase of the marketing funnel. And this means that the audience already knows you, already know the founder, already know the brand, but however, they are not convincing stranger yet. So they just engage with you, but they don't have any conversation with you yet. So our first goal is to warm the current network with valuable, authentic, trust-building content that connects the founder personality, expertise, and business offering to those people who are in the warm network. And once that those people are engaged, we can expand the reach later on. And based on our EMS system, we will have 4 main content pillars that we can do for the founder. The first one is personal blog. You guys might have already seen this slide or already heard Andrew mentioning this. Personal blog, 1 company blog, 1 internal post, and 1 external post. And then now I will walk you through the steps on how you can, produce the content out of this. So, now that you understand the funnel, the first step is to identify the founder key monthly content theme. At Social Star, what we usually do is we do the 6-month content theme. However, with your internship, it might be shorter period. So I want you to just focus on 1 month at a time. Yeah, because for every month, there will be 4 different content pieces. So just focus on 1 at a time so that we can produce it effectively. And the goal is to, to work with the founder to identify just 1 key theme of the month. And this theme will guide all of the content and ensure the relevance to both audience and their business priorities within that month. And how you can do it. First, there's 2 ways. The first way is, as Andrew mentioned, we can just ask them, what is the key theme of the month that you want me to focus on? However, one of our key values at CampusLife and also at Social Star is resourcefulness, right? So sometimes the founder might not know what they want to focus yet. So what we can do as an intern is we can help them to figure out what they can focus on by asking them good questions. So just schedule a quick chat with them and ask a few discovery questions. For example, I list out here, for example, what's your business focus this month? Is there any new service, any client story, any events coming up for you that you want to promote this month? Is there anything that you see in the industry that worth talking about? Because they will know best about the industry, right? So because they're expert in that industry. So just asking them those questions. Or, is there something you want your audience to understand better about your approach? And if they are not sure, I'm pretty sure that they can answer those questions. But if they're still not sure, then you can look at the recent posts, their website, the events. You can just Google or ChatGPT some trends in the industry and present them with a few options and ask, I researched these 3 trends in the industry, and I think trend number 1 is the best. What do you think? And then by providing those options like that, you help them to help you better, right? You already give them some prompts so that they can just decide to go either 1, 2, or 3. So that is step 1, to gather the theme of the month. Next one, when we decide on the theme already, we will then create 4 pillars topics under that theme. And as I mentioned before, we have 4 main pillars: external posts, internal posts, blog posts, personal blog, and business blog. So in the personal blog that you can see on the left-hand side, This blog is about the founder reflection, their personal approach, their personal opinion on something in the industry, for example, or just their personal story with a specific client. Or it could be the why they start their business. A blog is a personal one. And then the second piece is the internal business update. This one is actually depends. So for example, if they're fully doing just personal brands, then this internal post is about them, about the testimonial for just themselves. However, if they have the company page as well, then we can update the audience on a few things on about the business. It's still internal. It's still internal about the business, about them. But whether they doing companies page or they just do personal page, that is when you can decide specifically which kind of internal post you want to do. For the business page, the internal updates can be if they have any new team member, if they have any new events, if they have any new internal training. Like in CampusLife, we have this internal training. It could be an internal update for us, for example. Or for Social Star, we have the Spark section every Friday. This could be one piece of content for Social Star for the internal business update. And for the personal branding one, it could be a testimonial from their client, or if they're going to attend any event specifically, it could be the internal update. Yeah. And then the third pillar is the external industry update. So this one, we will share an industry insight or trend. With this one, you can research on Google, as I mentioned, or you can just ask them at the start to gather the insight on the topic. And then the final one is a business blog. This could be around the product, the service they're offering, the client story, and how their business service or product can solve the client problem. It helps to show the credibility of the company to the client, so that they will be more willing to take the next step. And in this business blog, what we usually do is we will have a really clear call to action at the end of the blog for them to book a discovery call, for example, so that we can take them to the next step. How does that sound to you so far? Clear? Yeah, perfect. And in the right hand side here, I attached the client brief that Annie did as well. So once I have a conversation with her, I mentioned to her that, I need your help in building the October content for me within these 4 pillars. And then what she do is she really proactively putting together the brief here for me to have a look at. I didn't ask her to do that. She actually take the initiative to do it proactively. It helped both sides, right? It helped me to know the brief specifically, because I might give her another task. So with this brief, like ready, when she send me the content for approval, I can look at the brief again to see what did I brief her on, what is the direction, and so I can help her to access her content deliverable better. And you guys should do the same as well. Always write a brief and confirm with the clients. Jerry, you have any question?
Yeah, I have a question. So regarding the like 4 content pillars per month, should there also be something? If this might not really works for personal branding or for some industries, but like doing something trendy to like attract more viewers into our social media, do you reckon is a like necessary pillar?
Can you say it again?
Like something trendy, like like a piece of content that is following the trend, like was that like on TikTok or like on
Mm.
Insta?
Yeah, very good question. And I think we have this I like when I teach at art at uni, this is something that I see all the time as well, is people might think marketing is social media. And it means that when I want to promote something, I just create, one Instagram reels, one TikTok video or something like that. However, before we jump into the content type, because really the short form video or anything is really just a content form. But what is a key message that you're going to put into that content is more important. So before we jumping into the decision on which platform or which content type we want to do, we need to think about what is the goal of that month. What is the outcome we want to achieve? Is it increase reach or is it increase engagement, right? And then the second question is, if we want to increase brand awareness or awareness, then what specifically about the brand that we want people to aware of? Is it a specific service, or is it or is it about the founder? So that will shape the key message that you're gonna put into that content. Yeah.
Yeah. So like regarding like regardless of the objective that month, so is it engagement or awareness, like you said, but we still keep the 4 content pillars, and it's
Um,
like you mentioned.
Yeah, I think these 4 content pillars is the minimum
Mm.
4 content per month. You can do the 5th content or the 6th content. Like some of my clients, they don't do these 4. Sometimes they will replace one of the posts into one short video, and it's fine. Yeah. Or sometimes they will add on another short form video on top of these 4, and it's fine as well. It just recommended to make sure we cover these 4 content pillars to ensure that we can connect with the audience both on a personal and professional level. So they connect with us personally through our personal approach, but we also provide them educational content.
Mm.
Yeah. And regarding specifically to your question about, the trend on TikTok, for example, I think is a great idea for viral content because following trends. However, we need to consider as well if the audience is on that platform.
Mm.
If they are on that platform, yes, we might consider it. However, most of our clients are service-based,
Mm.
and LinkedIn usually works best for them. And the audience usually on LinkedIn. That's why we have these pillars. But if your client is, like a restaurant, for example,
Mm.
then definitely Instagram Reels, TikTok work really well for them.
Yeah. So what you say, viral marketing, viral content, is in the warm phase or is it in the cold phase?
It it depends.
Mm.
So anything that is in your page, it is warm, because only people who visit your website, so your profile, can view that content, right?
Mm.
However, with TikTok algorithm, for example, you don't need to visit someone's page to see that content. But if your content is viral, it could pop up on their for your page, right?
Yeah.
So it's considered cold because you're reaching new audience through that content.
Right.
So it depends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All good. Okay. Any question for this step, number 2? All right. I'll move into step 3. So after we have the clear topics for each pillars, we will then write the content structure. So before drafting, outlining what each post will include, like a mini flow of the story, will really helps. For example, as you can see here on the right-hand side, Annie did a blog, a day in my life blog for me. And before she interviewed me or gain my insight for it, she researched on, what is the optimal blog length, what is a blog title pattern, what is a common structure for this specific topic. So that you already have the structure already here. For example, what is the hook? What is the introduction of the person? We need to include the journey, the story, and also the day-to-day tasks for the day-to-day in the live blog. And then you can do exactly the same for add the content for your clients, having clear structure for each content piece. And I'll show you the reason why we have to do it. The reason for it is because we need to have the interview with them to get the insight. Because most of your content is around personal blog, personal approach, personal expertise, case study, and you won't know about it yourself, right? You need to ask them to get those information from. And by having the clear structure already, you can draft what are the questions you can ask them so that you can gain the insight from. And this can help you to, fill in the structure that you created at the start. And that is the step 4, prepare interview question, right? This is to capture your client authentic voice, schedule a short interview with them to fill the content gap, and ask focus question based on the pillars. By having the structure for each content pieces here, you can write down like a list of the question you will ask them for those, but to produce those specific content. On the right hand side here, you can see a few examples that Annie did as well for the blog. After the meeting, I'll send you the slides so that you can have a closer look into it. And then after the interview with your clients, that is when we will gather all the inputs and then write the post draft clearly and concisely based on the tone of voice. For each of the content pieces, we can add specific visuals into it as well. For example, for the blog, we can add the images in the blog body. We need to design the blog cover image. For the external or internal post, we might design like a single image graphic, for example, to go along with the post. And then just, once you draft it, just follow the usual process that we follow. Have your buddy to review it, send it to me for review, and then send it to your client for feedback. Yeah, and then at this step, it's really important to have the brand analysis as well, because it is when you write the content on behalf of the client. So it's important that your content tone of voice is aligning there with their personal tone or their company tone. For companies that already established, like Mark, who I think Kelly is working on, he already have his website, his social media presence. So you can just put the prompt into ChatGPT to analyze his brand tone, both company and personal tone, so that you can write it up for the next time. However, for new businesses like Rosalind, she doesn't have any website, she doesn't have any social media presence yet. Then you can use the insight from the interview, use the tone of voice that when she answers your question, so that you can analyze her brand tone. Yeah. And the way you can do it is, in the previous training, I already gave a brief overview about it, is that you can, put a prompt into ChatGPT saying like, can you analyze the brand tone, personality, style based on my interview notes, and then paste a note there. Or you can put the link of the website, the link of the social media there for it to analyze. And then save that file into your computer, upload it back to ChatGPT folder for that client specifically, so that next time, if you put any prompt for it to create content, it can follow exactly that brand tone. Yeah. And then you can also send to client as well for her to use. Like for Rosalind, I think she will really appreciate it because she doesn't have any brand tone at the moment. So if you can, extract the interview and put it into a detailed brand tone analysis, she's really appreciated. And obviously save it into your Google Drive in in your specific folder and on Intern Drive as well. Yeah, so I think that is pretty much it. 5 main stage that we can follow to create content for your client. The key takeaway, I think, there's 4 main points. First is the content drop is to build trust before outreach. The second, each piece of the content connects directly with the founder personality to their business value. It's just not a piece of content, but it's really connect and bringing value to their audience. And also always be resourceful. Don't wait for the founder to tell you what to do. Sometimes they might want to tell you what to do, but you can proactively help them to figure things out as well. It's a really important skill and an attitude in the professional settings. And also keep the funnel in mind. Warm the existing network first by your content and then expand it. Do it by doing LinkedIn outreach or ads. Is there any question for me throughout the steps? Nope. Okay. So I hope it's clear for you. If you have any question, feel free to put into our group chat. Whenever I have a chance, I'll reply to that. Or if other people who might be able to reply to it, they will be. Next step this week, I would like you to research and brainstorm the content themes for your clients for November. And then draft a list of the pillars topics under the chosen theme. 1 external, 1 internal, 1 personal blog, 1 business blog. And then prepare a list of interview questions for your clients for each pillars and send it to them for review. And then in the next week meeting, just do the interview with them to gather the insights. And then from there, you can start drafting your post for review. 4 pieces might be a lot to do for 1 week. So you can start with 1 pillar first, see how it goes, and then continue on the next one. All right. Adnan, does this support social star interns as well? Social star intern, it depends on the client. Do they do any content retainer with us? Which client are you talking about? For Angus? Yes, I would say so. Before you begin with Angus, you can ask him first. You can proactively say, "Oh, hi Angus, I just have a training on content creation, and I think I can help you to, create content for next month. Here's my research. What do you think?" And then if he's okay with that, then you can just go ahead and create it. Hanson Living, K & Co. Are we doing any content for them, Adnan? Or just newsletter? And also depends on your capacity as well, yeah, Sarah? If you already do something else, you might need to consider it. Just do one thing at a time. Just conscious of time, we're already over 8 minutes, so I might end it here. If you have any further questions, feel free to pop into our group chat. Okay. That's fine, Adnan. If you don't have capacity, that's fine. But if you want to practice, you can do it if you want. All right. Thanks, guys. That's all from me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. We'll send you the
Thank you.
recording and the slides. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.